My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers. I am responsible for keeping him fed and clothed.
Tina Coleman, to be exact. It is my job as a beautiful Black woman to make sure that the world knows that you, Tina, as an RN, are okay with children suffering due to malnutrition. Tina Coleman. Now, since you had your RN degree and you knew every fucking thing, you should have knew that you needed to turn your badge around in every photo. But see, me, I have time. So I scrolled a little bit to April, and I saw that you were silly enough to forget, because people like you always forget. So, Tina, I've noticed that you've worked in Alabama and you've also worked in Kentucky, places where there are large populations of people who do need SNAP benefits and Medicaid. And I would never want someone like you to be working in the healthcare field that had to ever deal with someone who unfortunately needed those benefits. And not only that, as an RN, you should know the signs of a stroke. Have the day you deserve, Tina Coleman.
Second job tonight.
You're on your way to your second stroke, you unseasoned fat. Everyone deserves to eat.
Hey, Crenshaw Community Hospital. Is this your employee? I mean, I know she's a registered nurse, but does she get to, be so facetious? I mean, aren't nurses and doctors meant to help people, to show compassion and empathy? Yes. So why is she on social media, being completely disingenuous and lacking empathy for those who, whatever. She is a reflection of your hospital. Whatever.
I'm sure many of you have seen this nurse, but I want to tell you it gets worse.
It is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayer.
But she also posted this.
On today's episode of Black and Jobless.
So TikTok, please, for the love of God, do your thing.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My good name is Gracie D. I hope you all are doing amazing. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. So I'm sure you've all seen of this nurse that is now making waves online, not for a good thing, but for mocking people on Snap. So Tina thought it would be funny to jump online in her scrubs, holding her dog and making fun of people on SNAP benefits, saying that her baby has not eaten for 2 hours and that's why she has to go to her second job, and that it's not the taxpayer's job to feed people. And this woman is a nurse, guys. This woman is a woman who is in service, giving service to patients. She called her dog a baby while mocking people who are on SNAP benefits trying to feed their kids. Do you know how privileged you have to be to do that? Choices have consequences, and right now she's already met with her consequences. I want us to watch some of these few clips and what people had to say about these guys. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on this episode, credits belongs to the original creators of these videos that you're seeing on your screens. So let's just dive right ahead and we'll be back with more commentary.
Tina Coleman, come on down. You're the next contestant on Fuck Around and Find Out.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers.
Tina's a registered nurse that works at Crenshaw Community Hospital in Crenshaw County, Alabama. Not to be confused with Greenbow, Alabama. According to this badge, it also looks like she's worked in home health care at some point. As a healthcare professional myself, the majority of my patients have to utilize such programs like Medicare, Medicaid, food assistance, Social Security, and disability. But how disgusting to see how she really feels about her patients. But Tina, I can't wait to see the grand showcase you win at the end of this Fuck Around and Find Out game. And the rest of y'all, have a good day now, okay?
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers. I am responsible for keeping him fed and clothed.
I have a lot to say about that video, but instead we are going to go straight into another review of the ANA Code of Ethics for those who missed it the first time. Because when you get online and you mock parents struggling to feed their children, even if it's your own personal platform or if you're joking or not, you just don't embarrass yourself. You undermine this profession, and it shows you don't understand the ethical weight your license holds. So let's review the ANA Code of Ethics. Provision 1, respect for human dignity. The nurse practices with compassion and respect for the inherent dignity, worth, and unique attributes of every person. Provision 3, protection of health, safety, and rights. The nurse establishes a trusting relationship and advocates for the rights, health, and safety of recipients of nursing care. Provision 5, personal integrity and professional conduct. The nurse owes the same duties to self as to others, including the responsibility to promote health and safety, preserve wholeness of character and integrity, maintain competence, and continue personal and professional growth. Provision 8, human rights, health equity, and social justice. The nurse collaborates with other health professionals and the public to protect human rights, promote health diplomacy, and reduce health disparities. Provision 9, maintaining the integrity of the profession. Nurses and their professional organizations work to enact and resource practices, policies, and legislations to promote social justice, eliminate health inequities, and facilitate human flourishing. Nurses advocate for vulnerable people. And if that's not who you are, be honest, and then reconsider your career.
That's the nurse from yesterday, Sassy RN or whatever it is, in her full nursing gear. People identified her, and I guess they contacted HR. Now her videos are gone, and she sent me a nasty message. She said she's going to contact her attorney. Bring it. Bring it.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way.
Stitch of a stitch, but that nurse is going pretty private on her social media account. So, anyhow, had to do it. In case you didn't know, there are some people working in healthcare who should not be working in healthcare. And it is really easy for me in the healthcare world to acknowledge that. But we see it every day. We know who on the floor you shouldn't trust. We know in home health. We know in hospice. We know the names of companies who should not be trusted. And if you go back and look at that name tag, I would take a look at that one, because that company has some sketchy history. Food and healthcare are rights I will not debate.
One thing that I noticed about these accounts is that every single one of these accounts, they claim to be Christians, but they're not Christian. They just like to pretend that they're Christian, because if they were really Christian, they would not be doing these types of videos where they're happy and making fun of people who are on the poverty level. Yeah, I said what I said. I haven't seen Muslims make these videos. I haven't seen Hindus make these videos. I haven't seen like a lot of religious groups make these videos, but these so-called Christians that live in the Bible Belt states that are Republican. Anyway, Tina, back to you. You work in 2 fucking states where the people are on the poverty level, more than 50%. And about more than 50% are on SNAP benefits. And also in these states, there's a high usage of drugs. Frankly, I don't give a shit about that. Frankly, you should not be working with people. And what they say is true. Nurses were the mean girls in high school. You're a bitch, Tina. Go fuck yourself.
First of all, why did it come up on my For You page? I have no idea. They know I am ignorant. Why would they have this on my For You page? Ma'am, and for you to be up in your scrubs and all that, and then for you to say, your baby ain't eaten 2 hours, and to pick up a black dog, child. I hope you have the day to use the third, ma'am. Amen. Amen. I'm not even Nothing that I can say is godly. Take it where you want to take it. Amen.
I'm stitching this because people need to see what's happening in real time. When a nurse publicly mocks people receiving SNAP benefits as if poverty is a personal failure. So this nurse, who identifies as Tina Coleman, an RN at Crenshaw Community Hospital in Laverne, Alabama, thought it was appropriate to belittle people who rely on public assistance, many of whom are the same patients we care for every day. So I'm going to let you see the clip.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers. I am responsible for keeping him fed and clothed.
So this is the ugly side of nursing culture we don't talk about enough. The performative, I work 2 jobs pride that disguises contempt for the poor. Nursing isn't about judging who's worthy of help. It's about care, equity, and humanity. And we've seen too many stories of bullying, discrimination, and classism in this field. It is time for accountability. The profession needs to study it, name it, and root it out. Because when you humiliate the vulnerable, you do not represent nursing. You absolutely disgrace it.
It's so crazy and very sad that in today's world, in a country like the United States of America, we're seeing so many uneducated people, very ignorant American citizens who are mocking SNAP users because they think that these people are lazy or do not want to work. And it's sad that I have to tell you that this is a lifeline for over 40 million of American citizens, including children, the elderly, and working class families that cannot keep up with today's economy. It's not because they're lazy, but because life is quite expensive in the United States of America. Politicians don't give a damn about these people, and they don't care about the well-being of the American citizens, that they now have to come up with SNAP benefits to help people, to help middle-class working citizens that cannot afford to cater for all their bills, for their electricity bill, for everything that they need, and also feed their families and also feed their kids. And seeing a woman like her who has a job coming on here making fun and mocking these people that are depending on SNAP to feed their children, it's quite crazy, and she does not deserve to be a nurse. She does not deserve to be attending to any American citizen, especially in the state that she's living, where most of the people are actually low-income earners and depend on SNAP benefits to survive. Right now, food prices are up. You've seen what happened with the mass deportation, where there are no people to work on these farms. Food was rotting in the farms because there is no one to pick this food. You all voted for deportation of illegal immigrants, and now every single day food prices are rising. Wages are still the same. People are working 2 to 3 jobs for them to survive and still cannot afford to feed their kids, still cannot afford the basic needs that they need for a normal human being to survive in a country like the United States of America. And instead of such people directing their anger and frustration to the broken system that is now affecting millions of American citizens, you decide to come on here and mock people that are depending on SNAP to feed their kids, thinking that they are lazy because you're going to your second job. There are people who are doing 2 to 3 jobs, but they still cannot afford to feed their babies. You're lucky that you're privileged enough that you even have a job in this economy and with everything that is happening in the United States of America. But yeah, she doesn't have the job anymore. I don't think so, because she does not deserve to be treating patients. She does not deserve to be attending to these people that she's coming to mock online. It's quite sad that we are seeing people who have a little privilege with a steady check poverty shaming other people in the United States of America. It's so crazy, guys, because I've seen people trying to mock people who use SNAP, and they think that they are better than them. Mind you, some of these people are working, but the money that they get paid is not enough to cater for their rent and everything that's needed. Why do you think people are resorting to live in their cars rather than paying apartments? They cannot afford that. It's been so hard for people to even afford something to feed on. And this is the country that you all call a first world country. It's so crazy that so many people are looking as if people that need help are morally weak. Since last year, since the election on November 5th, 2024, to this time, which is now 1 year, 2 days, the amount of stupidity, ignorance that I've seen coming from American citizens, it's quite worrying, guys. You know, I see people trying to fill in their papers, trying to get those student visa to go and study in the United States of America. Why is it that some of these citizens don't actually benefit from education that they have? It's so sad, guys, because it's so easy for someone to go and research and get to understand what is happening, to get to understand that these people are not relying on SNAP to survive because they are lazy or because they don't want to work. It's quite easy to go online and understand why are people, or why do a country like the United States of America, we have to have over 40 million people depending on SNAP. A country that is offering aid to other countries but don't want to help its fellow citizens, the same people who pay to taxes that you all keep on sending to other foreign countries while your own citizens are suffering. Republicans been talking about making America great again. Trump been talking about the way he wants to make the country great again. But now it's been 1 year, 2 days, and people are still suffering. People are still struggling. Where is the greatness that you all were talking about? Because what I'm seeing every single day when you scroll online is just Americans complaining of how hard life is getting, of how this government is trying to strip away government benefits that are actually helping millions of American citizens, including healthcare, SNAP benefits that is helping over 40 million American citizens, including children who cannot go to work. This woman is talking about, I have to go to my second job. What about those kids that don't have parents? What about those kids that don't have anyone to look at? It's so sad, guys, but the place she was working issued a statement saying that these videos do not represent their values. But we all know this for PR, because you've seen so many people who are professionals dehumanizing the poor while hiding behind uniforms and their careers just because they have a paycheck and they think that these people are poor or these people are lazy and don't want to work. You know, mocking the poor doesn't make you strong. It just shows how disconnected you are from reality with everything that is happening in the United States of America. You cannot pretend that you've not been seeing what's been going on, what has been happening, and what these politicians are doing and what this government is doing. You know, sending over $40 billion to Argentina farmers while refusing to help feed over 40 million American citizens. Make that make sense. So sad that this is happening in 2025 in a country like the United States of America. I would really love you all to tell me what you think about this, and I hope that this is gonna be a lesson to any other person who thinks it's cool and funny to come and mock people that are actually asking for help or deserve help from the government, because at the end of the day, they're American citizens and they've been paying taxes. And the crazy part is that most white people are thinking that the highest number of SNAP beneficiaries are Black Americans, but turns out that that is not the case, and that's why she's even holding a black dog, trying to make fun of Black people, because she thought that it's the Black people that only depend on SNAP benefits. I don't know what you all think, but I would really love to hear what your thoughts are on the comments section. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and until the next episode, continue having a great weekend.